All right, hello everyone. So I'm going to go through a quick tutorial for how the add-on works and what it entails, and give you a quick rundown on how you can use it. So essentially, this is an add-on that is meant to allow users to create their own memory palaces. So if you're not familiar with what a memory palace is, I would recommend searching Mullen Memory. They have some great resources. Or you just look at any of the sketchy or pixelarized videos and you'll get a great idea of how they work. It's essentially using a symbol associated with a concept to help you remember that concept and, um, build connections with other things that are related to that. So let's get started. So you're going to want to have Anki open and you're going to go to the add-on page. You're going to get the add-on number from here. You're going to then install the add-on going from tools, add-ons, and then clicking get add-on. Okay. So now you're going to restart Anki now that you've installed the add-on. Great. Uh, so now when you have restarted Anki, you'll see there's a new option here, Memory Palace Manager. We're not going to go into it yet, but this is where you'll find most of the actual functionality for the add-on. So the way that this add-on is meant to work is it's supposed to help you identify it's supposed to help you find ways to make things that are very difficult for you to remember a little bit easier. So for instance, for this example, I'm going to go to this lecture, and we have some simple close deletions. So I'm just going to go through it. I'm just going to answer it. And you'll see, that you get the answer, and there's something different here that you might not have noticed before the add-on. There's a brain button right here. This is so if you're having trouble with a card and you want to later after you're done reviewing, you want to add it so that later after you're done reviewing, you want to make like a symbol for it that can help you remember it, like a mnemonic, then you want to click this button, okay? Or you can also use the shortcut, which is highlighted there, Control Alt Q. And you can also map this to if you're using a 8-bit DO controller, you can map the shortcut to the controller and it should work the same way. So I'm going to do this for a few cards. I'm going to just use the shortcut. I'm going to say, I want to remember this card, but this card is hard for me to remember. So I'm going to mark it as something that I want to add to a memory palace. I'm going to do the same for this one. I'm going to do the same for this one. I'm going to do the same for this one. Okay. So essentially, the way I imagine this would work is you go through all your reviews or when you're learning, you go through all the cards that you're learning and you figure out which cards do you want to develop images for, and you either click this button or you use your controller in the shortcut. Okay. So now, once you've done your reviews, imagine I finished all the cards and I've selected the ones that, I really want to try and think of some memory palaces for. I'm going to go to Tools, Memory Palace Manager, and you'll see all the cards that you had selected on the right side here. So if you double click, you can open up the card and see what it was specifically about if you've forgotten a little bit. But essentially, this is where most of our work will be done after you're done reviewing. So I have all of this information that I want to remember, and I want to create a memory palace for it. I'm going to click New. So it's going to prompt me what do you want to call the new palace? I'm just going to say red blood cells, or I guess you could call it erythropoiesis. Just make it something descriptive that'll help you remember what it is. So you can come back to it a little bit more easily when you come back. For the setting, you can put so essentially if you're unfamiliar with the memory palaces, your setting is going to be, where does the scene take place? So it could be anything, right? Anything that you can imagine. So I'm going to say, for instance, just to help me remember it, maybe I'm going to say this would be a royal blood circus, right? Because RBC's Royal Blood Circus, maybe that'll help me remember. Okay. So I'm going to click OK. And then you'll see your memory palace is created here. Now, the next step you want to do is you're going to want to move the information that you want associated with that palace. You're just going to drag and drop. Okay. And then you get this option. Essentially, like the information that you're trying to remember is here at the bottom. So I'm going to call that the concept. And the icon is like the symbol that you want this information to be represented by. So you don't have to fill this out right now. You can just click OK. But if you do have something in mind, for instance, like reticulocytes, um, you can put that in here right now, or right there. So I'm just going to click OK, and I'm just going to keep assigning them as I go. Okay. And next, we're going to load our palace up. So before I do that, I do want to spend a little bit of time just going through some of the other buttons. This clear stack button, this is going to remove everything on this side. So be careful of this. It's only if like really don't want to deal with the rest of the information or it's a little cluttered, you can clear stack and it'll go away. Delete will delete the palaces that you have currently selected. So if I click delete here, it would delete this one. Import, so basically if you're like moving computers and whatnot and you want to make sure you have a way to save your palaces, you can click export first and it'll save all your palaces in a zip file. And then you just transfer that to your other computer and then click import. And then it'll load those palaces up for you right away. So it's more for individuals who have like multiple working workstations. Okay, so let's load our memory palace. So you can see we have our information that we just dragged and dropped in here. We have our setting up at the top. You can change any of these. For instance, by going down to the bottom, there's an edit button. If I click edit, I can change this information. Um, and I can add stuff too. So for instance, if I later on, I thought of something, um, I thought of a symbol for this, then I would just put that down here and we would just click save edits and it would save that, right? So just keep in mind you can edit this stuff. And you can also add new thing. So if you add like if you add like a beach ball for your symbol and then you say you want this to be to represent basophils, right? Or something. And basophils are small round cells, right? And then if you have a card associated with it, you can do that. But essentially, you can also manually add information. So you just click add, and it'll add it down here, right? Okay. So we have all our information that we want, but we're having some trouble thinking of symbols. Here's where you can use AI a little bit to help you out. So the first thing we're going to do is this auto generate missing loci icons button. So essentially, everything that doesn't have a symbol, this button will generate a symbol for it by asking AI what it thinks based on the setting that we've provided. So if I click on it, and there we go. Now, typically, it wouldn't provide, you know, the typically it wouldn't provide all of this information right away. There would be an option to input your API key if you haven't done so already. Um, but I've already inputted mine in here, so it automatically did the calculation. So now if we go through all of the concepts, we can see like, oh, for this one, we can see that they said a vibrant, shimmering red ruby circus tent with a swirling spiral design symbolizing the reticulated patterns of reticulocytes. So that is for representing this information. So, you can edit it and change it if you don't like it, but you know what? I'm okay with what the AI has provided me so far. Once you're comfortable with what the AI has provided you, you can create generate image. Okay, and this is like an option for you to customize the prompt if you have any like anything you want to add or change. And again, it's the same idea of customize the prompt, and then you press OK, and then you just wait a little bit. Typically, it'll take a couple of seconds, and it'll open up your browser with the new image that ChatGPT has generated for you. And again, this is dependent on the API key. If you do not have the API key, you can always copy paste the prompt and manually into the web browser and go through that way. Okay. So this is what ChatGPT has created for me based on the information that I gave it, right? So, you know, if I like it, I can say, okay, that's good. I'm gonna copy the image, and I'm gonna paste it over here in this generated image section by using Control V. Now it now the image is here and it's associated with this with these reviews. And so if I want to come back, I can look at both the image and the reviews and go from there. So before I exit, I do want to click Save Palace. Make sure that our hard work isn't lost. Okay. Um, so yeah, when you come back in, it's still there. If we were to say, for instance, want to update the image, say we added more information or we deleted some information. So I'm going to say I'm going to delete this one and I'm going to say update image. So this is still an experimental function, but essentially, if you were to copy this image into ChatGPT on your browser, and then you were to provide the same prompt with the changes, so you just copy paste this prompt, it it'll try its best to remove it, but it is not the best. Sorry. So you will need to log into ChatGPT to use this feature, I suppose. Okay. But yeah, just keep in mind that is the way that this would work for now, because the API does not currently support the imaging properly, editing the image properly. Um, I don't want to save any changes. Okay. Now, one last thing, when you're reviewing now, say for instance, you're back at this card, we just created a memory palace for this, and a couple of days later, you're back on this card. And you're like, okay, I can't remember the image for this card. So you're gonna go back to Memory Palace or Tools, Memory Palace Manager, and you'll see that. So if I make another Memory Palace, okay, you'll see that this one is clearly highlighted blue, and this is because this Memory Palace has the concept associated with this card. Okay, so if I load, I go down and you can see that this number 4, it's bolded. So this means that the information here corresponds directly to the card that I'm currently reviewing. So this is a way that you can make your reviews a little bit easier as well. And I think that's it. Um, Again, if you, oh, sorry, one more thing. If you're like, there are tags associated with the palaces as well. So if you see down here, RBCs, that's the name of the memory palace that we created. So it does tag the cards that are associated with your memory palace. One easy way that's another easy way that you can go back and figure out which way, where the information is stored for the particular card in question. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, but that's the basic gist of the add-on. It's again, just to summarize, uh, you use it to mark cards that you're having trouble remembering, and then for those cards, you can use either AI or your own imagination to create symbols that will help AI generate an image, and then using that image, similar to Sketchy or Pixarize, um, you can hopefully create a better connection with the concept that's being studied. Yeah, okay. Thank you for your attention, guys. And if you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out.